the first and last word on air compressors from Boss Industries.
Chuck Hamilton, we're back with the first and last word on air compressors. This is season 2, episode 9. So we're excited today. We had something that happened here in this little off period that we've been a little quiet on, but Boss Industries has acquired a great company called HIPPO Multipower. And today with us, not only with the acquisition that we got, the company, a great product line, but we got some great employees. And the first one of those employees that we have with us, and we're going to do this with, is Chris Cugini. And Chris is our Boss Industries Railroad and Transit Sales Manager Specialist. So Chris, welcome aboard. Thank you for doing this with us. This has been a long time coming. I know that we kind of kept this acquisition a little quiet behind the scenes, and you and I have been communicating back and forth on what we wanted to do with this podcast, how we wanted to do it, but welcome aboard.
Thanks, Chuck. I'm happy to be here at Boss Industries, and I'm looking forward to a wonderful future with the company.
Yeah. Hey, so you're an East Coast guy, born and bred in the Garden State, Jersey, right?
Yep, Southern New Jersey, which is the 51st state in the union.
I love it. I love it. What was your role? What give me a little bit of your background, get a little bit of history for our viewers out there. Give me that elevator pitch Chris Cugini story.
Okay, well, I spent a lot of years with General Electric and Kohler Power Systems. So my background has been more in the power industry. From a temporary and standby unit. I worked in an awful lot of power plants as I was at GE. So, naturally I was progressing up the line, and this opportunity came to me in the end of 2014 to join HIPPO Multipower, and I did. And I really enjoyed selling the product in the Northeast. And then, as I progressed in the company, I was promoted to, a senior account manager for the rail and transit industry. And I'll tell you, I really found something there, Chuck, a passion for that. It's a tough industry. They're tough on the products. But if you build the heavy duty product, they're going to buy it from you and they're going to use it. And
that's a great comment. And within this industry we're at, and you found out that with HIPPO, even with Boss, we're kind of one of those niche markets, right? And there's so many, why we think we've got them all covered, all of a sudden another one pops up and you're like, wow, how have we not seen this before? And so it's exciting to have those products and with us, but how has the acquisition been for you, transferring from the HIPPO side into the Boss side? And I know you're very specific on your product line, if you will, that carries over to that railroad transit industry. How's that transition gone for you? And what are you finding out? What are you seeing?
Well, first, I'd like to say I have to thank all the Boss employees that over the last 3 months have helped get me acclimated to the company. Okay. What I feel is that there's a bigger engineering department here, and that's going to help us fill the niche in the railroad market and the transit market. That's one of the potential upsides. I see adding some of the Boss equipment can fit a certain need, not only that, where we're selling the Power Tread 25 or the Power Tread 50, but also being able to use the Mechanic series for their service trucks. So we can become, how do I want to say it, like a one-stop supplier for the railroads. HIPPO offered 2 wheeled units, the THK, which is now becoming the Power Tread 25, and the Power Tread, which was its bigger brother, had more features, and now we're calling it the Power Tread 50.
What's the difference in the numerical values or the product lines between the numerical values?
Okay, the Power Tread 25 uses a 24.8 horsepower Kubota diesel engine, and the Power Tread 50 uses a 49 horsepower Kubota Tier 4 final engine.
What's the difference between the 2 units?
Okay, your Power Tread 25 has 1 hydraulic tool circuit, 10-gallon, 2,000 PSI. It has the tool carrier and the work lights, and it can be equipped with a telescoping light if your customer or if our customers want more light on the project. The Power Tread 50 has twin hydraulic circuits, 10 GPM, 2,000 PSI, and they can operate simultaneous. We can also add some more options. We have the tool carrier. We can add a generator up to about 5 kW, and a welder of 240 amp DC, and also put the same telescoping light tower on them. The units themselves, the PowerTread 25 is more smaller and compact, where the PowerTread is a little bit wider, a little bit bigger, a little heavier.
Okay, now for our customers, and I'm gonna put my sales hat on, and I'm gonna switch to the air side of the world.
Right.
Describe to the customers what a PowerTread is. If you had to paint a picture, what is a PowerTread? What's it look like? What's its function? What's this package like?
Okay, for maintenance away professionals, PowerTread is just a four-wheel vehicle with Polaris military tires on it. They're non-flat tires. You can run them over the rail,
Okay.
walk the unit inside the rail, which a lot of companies like to do, because especially if they're using hydraulic tools to, say, loosen the bolts on the track or pull or replace spikes with a spike driver or a spike puller. These are all operated hydraulically. Okay.
Gotcha.
Now, both of our units employ a 60,000 BTU heat exchanger so that our hydraulic oil stays cool. And this is very important because the life of a tool can be damaged by hot hydraulic fluid. But more importantly, your employees are going to wind up burning their hands.
Oh, okay.
And with this product, because of using that heat exchanger, which comes on automatically, thermostatically, it'll come on. It keeps the oil at roughly 100 degrees. You took a shower at that rate probably this morning. Okay, so that's very important to the tool life, but also to the maintenance personnel. Chuck, I can't tell you how many rail yards I've been in. I've seen gloves in ice. And the guy's trying to cool it. Yeah, because if you don't have these heat exchangers on the oil, it gets so hot and it transfers to the tool handle, because that's where the lines are hooked up. And they get so hot that wearing a pair of leather gloves will actually transfer the heat through the gloves. So they were keeping their gloves, and older hydraulic systems didn't incorporate this. A lot of times I would be in a rail yard and I'll find a truck that has a PTO running hydraulics, and it's going to a tank and to a reel. There's no cooling.
Wow.
And that, like I said, it shortens the life of the tool, and the tools aren't cheap. Okay. And it also will, it damages, it burns guys' hands, and that's a hospital visit.
So this is a mobile standalone unit that is, I'm trying for a better lack of words. It's an ORV. It goes over terrain. It goes over rocks, sand, everything to get to the job site. Now, do you ride in it or do you drive it? You walk behind it? Well, how does this work?
Okay,
I'm picturing a little mini tank. I've got this little picture of a mini tank.
That's the perfect thing to think of, because it's exactly how it steers. There are two control levers that are controlling the four wheels. Okay. And it operates like a tank. You want to turn right, just pull the lever left, push the lever right, it'll turn the machine.
Okay.
You want to turn right, so you just keep working it back and forth. It can go up specific grades. And what I like to tell end users is this: if you're not comfortable walking up the grade, don't walk my machine up the grade.
Right.
Never walk the machine on an angle. But the machine can walk over the tracks, over the ties. A lot of times you'll have sand in the area or hard dirt. The machine's going to climb over it, and you can chunk 35% of that tire out before you have to replace it.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Very robust. It sounds like a very robust unit.
Yeah. Well, when you think about the rail industry, Chuck, it is one of the most, what's the word I'm looking for? It is it's
a rugged environment.
Industry.
It's a rugged environment.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I envision a tool or a train car going down the track that has teeth on it. It just eats the machines. Guys will run over the hoses. It happens. Okay. They're always working at night, in the middle of the night, because that's the only time you take a track down. Okay. And you can
thus the light, thus all the lighting you mentioned earlier. You have to light up the area to work from.
Right. And that's where the light tower on the machine comes in handy. There are two work lights on the machine, but they're not going to really light the area up. This telescoping light tower will give you 10,000 lumens of power. It's all LED powered. Right.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it is. It's great. It's a fabulous option because now instead of having to drag another truck out, pulling a light tower that has a diesel tank on it, right? So
Yep.
you're going to
More
need to
piece of
fill a truck
equipment,
out, more
more to
pieces of equipment,
maintain, more.
more
Yep.
to maintain, another engine to maintain. We can put it all in the one unit. And that's where that really starts to make sense for a lot of the end users. I have some of the class ones that have really started to think about the light tower. And it's funny, some class ones will buy the machine with just 2 hydraulic circuits. Others will add the generator, others will add the welder, and others will add the light tower. Just really depends on who they are. But I think as we roll the product out from Boss with new literature, showing the options a little better, it might, enable the customer now to see, hey, beyond the basic options, I can start putting more things on this thing like a light tower.
Oh, awesome. Now, also, HIPPO had a product called an RTC, which is a tool circuit. And here at Boss, we're branding it as a Boss rugged tool circuit. Give me a little information on that. Is that a powered supply unit? What's happening with that? What's going on there?
Okay, it's a 24.8 horsepower diesel engine, just like the Power Tread 25.
Uh-huh.
It's a Power Tread 25 without wheels. 110-gallon circuit.
Yep.
Yeah. 110-gallon circuit. 10 GPM, 2000 PSI. Some of these rail companies use a cart and they carry their lunches in it. They carry all the things they need in it.
Mm-hmm.
And they put the Boss rugged tool circuit on there. It drives the axle. And when they get on site, they disconnect it from the axle and it runs their hydraulic. So,
okay.
Yeah, there's a couple of class ones. Okay, so I have some class ones that use carts. Okay, and this Boss rugged tool circuit, it's going to go on the cart. It's going to drive the axle. And when they get out to the job, they put a brake on, they take the hydraulic circuit and it powers a tool. And that's, every class one railroad is its own animal. Okay. So they operate a little bit differently, but the work crews do the same thing. So I also think that bringing some of the Boss product line in is now going to enable me to also offer an option for their service trucks that can deliver hydraulic power and an air power and a generator and, maybe a small welder. Those kind of things are important to these guys. And, I think really what Boss brings to the picture is maybe being able to supply the market with more product.
Oh, fantastic. That's good. That was part of, obviously I wasn't part of the acquisition team, but going over the HIPPO Multipower product line, what we were looking at and how it enhance our customers, our existing customers, but also digging into new territories that you've already been digging in for the past 7 to 8 years.
Yeah.
And one other product I wanted to talk about here, which is labeled as the CPS 185H HAE, but right now that's going to fall under the Boss Infinity product line, because anything at Boss that is hydraulically driven air compressor falls under that Infinity umbrella, right? And so this is a 185 hydraulically driven unit, but it's more than just an air compressor. So for us as a product line, it's an Infinity Plus. So we're going to be branding that as an Infinity 185 Plus. But give our customers, give our new viewers, our new Boss viewers, our existing Boss viewers, and our existing HIPPO viewers what that is.
Okay, you have a lot of transits, on the East and West Coast. That's where most of the people are, right? So we want to get traffic off the highways. One of the ways of doing that is with a transit system that goes all over the place. Transits they're a different animal than the class one railroads. Okay, they're smaller. They look for a unit that can not only deliver 2 hydraulic circuits, and sometimes that 10-gallon circuit needs to be a 5-gallon circuit because some of the specific tools, like a rail stretcher, use 5 gallons, but every other tool uses 10 gallon. That's why we put 2 circuits on a machine. Now, in this Infinity Plus, you can run 3 functions simultaneously. You could run the air compressor at 60. You can run both of your hydraulic circuits at the same time. The air compressor that's in the machine is 60 CFM, 100 CFM, or 185 CFM,
Depending on which
isolation.
circuits it's running off of.
Right, exactly.
Okay, I get
So,
it. Okay.
to run 185 CFM, you
You need
need 30,
all three. You need all three.
all
three
stages,
circuits.
right?
Yep.
You got
Okay.
it.
Yep.
But
Okay.
what's important to these transits is to be able to power a suitcase welder that's TIG and MIG welding, so that when the transit train turns, there's a switch called a frog. That's what the industry calls it.
Mhm.
It is the wear point in the system, and it's not easy to replace. It's in a street bed sometimes. Okay, so you'd have to rip
wow.
the whole street up, or you have to rip the whole rail up. So what they like to be able to do is air gouge, which is a
Yep.
process of blowing the dirt and everything
Yep.
away,
Yep.
and then air and arc weld. So you could run this Infinity Plus with the air at 60 CFM, and also run the generator that powers that suitcase welder at 300 amps.
Wow.
And
Okay.
so the transits are, and that'll get mounted on a truck. Okay. And sometimes they use the hydraulic circuit to run a crane on that truck. And then once the crane is not operational, it falls back to just the normal hydraulic circuits. Again, the reason we're putting an air compressor here in the transit industry is not so much that they need all that different air power for a couple of reasons. Shipping hammers, bridge crews they have bridges, so they have to go out and work on those bridges.
Mhm.
So they run chipping hammers. So a lot of times they'll run 2 chipping hammers, roughly 44 CFM. So you're going to need 100 CFM to run 2 of those. Sometimes they will be running jackhammers. So they might run 2 up on a bridge when they're demolishing it. So you need the 185 CFM. Okay. The welder comes in when, like I said, they're working on the track frogs. And that is so we're trying to build an all-in-one machine that has a fuel tank inside, a hydraulic oil tank inside. Okay. So it's completely, you just pop it on a truck. You can tie it into the fuel tank of the truck and we can delete the fuel tank.
Right.
Or you could just plop it down on a truck and every morning fill the tank.
Right.
Now, what's important about that machine in that transit industry is that we are giving them an all-encompassing unit.
But it's also is very flexible. To
Yes.
their needs. All right.
Yeah, and their needs are different than class 1. They have to have that air. The most important thing that they want is they want that air and welder working at the same time. And that is important to them. And it fits a need for them. So this is going to be truck mounted. The truck's going to have rail gear. It's going to go up, high rail gear. It's going to go up on the rail.
Mhm.
And generally, we'll design it where a bridge crew doesn't need the hydraulics, they need the air. Okay, where the regular rail crew needs everything.
Right.
So
Right.
it really depends listening to the voice of your customer and hearing what he's saying and building the unit. And the more options we can offer, Chuck, the better off we are.
Fantastic. Well, and that was, I know when you and I have had the previous discussions, when we brought you into the team and we were going through our own version of sales training, that was something that was very adamant on the HIPPO Multipower line that we brought in, was how flexible the product was for its particular customer. But I know we have other products that we've acquired from HIPPO product line, but and more during our discussion, I think we're going to be doing more podcasts of these with you, Chris, on some of the other product line to introduce not only your customers or reintroduce your customers from your previous the HIPPO line, but also on the Boss Air side, because I want to expand. Obviously, it's all about expanding our product line to serve our customers better. So what I'm going to do, we're going to cut this one off now, but because I want to come back at a later date, and as we acquire more of these products, we build more of these products, and we get more comfortable, I want to bring you back later, and we're going to continue this conversation. But hey, Chris, it's been a great conversation with you. Actually, a very informative one. I think our customers out there will really enjoy to see what HIPPO is doing for Boss and what Boss is doing for HIPPO. And we're going to move forward with some great things. I thank you for coming, Chris. I really appreciate it.
And Chuck, again, once I just want to say that I'm happy to be here at Boss, and I'm looking forward to a really great future.
Well, we're glad we're glad we have and happy that we have you. And I just want to say thank you to all our viewers out there. this is Chuck Hamilton with the first and last word on air compressors, Boss Industries with Chris Cugini. Season 2, episode 9. We're excited. We're entering our second season. But until next time, be safe, and we'll see you soon. See you later.